everybody. I want to thank you for tuning into this live. I know it's a little bit later here. Let me, man, that's a little bright on my TV behind me. As I try to have this station on behind us just so that, you know, you have something behind me. But that brightness is way too, it's too much. Let me try to make this not so hard on your eyes over here. Much better. Okay, so sorry about that. I just don't want you to be blinded by my screen behind me because I don't think that would be fair during this whole live. So, welcome in everybody. I just wanted to touch base on the pattern. I wanted to touch base about some news out of New Zealand, as well as you might have seen some of you in an update that I posted. I want to thank you for tuning in at this late hour as we have 16 people in here, 22 people in here. Thank you so much, everybody. Make sure to hit that like button, as it will help push the content. You all have done very well, as everybody in here so far has hit the like button. So I can't thank you enough. We're going to get into the intro here. I'm going to spend, let me get into this. I'm going to spend just a second here very quickly, because this is what I like to do. And I personally like to say hi to the early comers when the live starts, and then I get into it. Some people don't like it, but that's okay. Driver, welcome in. Nunya, John Hall, Crypto Roger, Miss Vicky, welcome in, love. I really appreciate you tuning in as well. I know you missed the earlier one, but I'm glad to see you're in here as well. Jorge, welcome in. Amir, Savage. Who else is in here? I love seeing all the conversation in here prior to the live as well. Ronald, Nick, JW, and Gypsy Flat, welcome in as well. I greatly appreciate everybody tuning in. Dean as well, sneaking in here. Thank you so much. James Hunter, welcome in. So real quickly to timestamp this, good evening, 10:31 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Saturday, August 12th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So, as we're trying to see exactly what's going to pan out here, Roger, welcome in. No problem. I greatly appreciate you tuning in. James Hunter, welcome in on this Saturday night. Jay Days, welcome in as well. I'm having a good night so far. We'll see what happens here. My son's sleeping right now. Figured I'd come on for an hour or so, try to touch base with everybody, see who was up, see who wanted to catch up here a little bit, share some of the news that's been coming in as well. So right now, though, I mean, the main message here, though, before we get started is, as a community, just don't lose hope here. I mean, even if we were to retrace, let's face it, let's say XRP in a worst case scenario came down, let's just say we came to 15 cents or 10 cents. What would be so bad about that in the grand scheme? I don't think it's any reason to lose hope. Like, a lot of people are just trying to get the price to bounce up so quickly, but we've got to do this in a stepping format here. We can't just expect it to go up 10,000% at once. I think that's the biggest, unfortunately, that's the biggest problem when we talk about XRP in the space, is a lot of people get a lot of people's hopes and dreams, you know, way up there. But we really need to look at it the easiest way to say it is to look at it in steps. Right now, since we're in a bear market, you call it the accumulation phase. Does this necessarily mean it's ready to push out just because we've hit the third golden cross in the history of XRP? Just because in 2 years, or in the last year and a half, we completed finally this cup and handle? Or the fact that certain factors are starting to line up here greater than before, the fact that we have had a big dump in volume from the buy volume in regards to the sell volume on the way down. Is it a big contradiction here, though, the fact that in the weekly we only had 500 million, but when we were having a big surge of price, we had 5 billion as we looked at earlier? I mean, these are all good questions to ask, but the one thing we need to remember is XRP right now is at 62.5, 63 cents. I mean, when we look at it at the grand scheme, being at 60 cent area, sub $1, I mean, a lot of people are getting their hopes up, but it's not the right time to get your hopes up. One of the main reasons, too, I mean, just look at this. I know a lot of people haven't seen this, but this is a very short read, but I'm gonna continue to spread this. Driver. Oh, wait a minute. Mr. Extra Sour Cream, welcome in. The chart has been a tight, jagged rope all day. It has been. It has been, but we'll keep getting into that. I'm going to let the chat lead this live because there won't be as many people in here because it's later, so it'll be easier for me to talk to a lot of people. So if you get your hopes up about XRP or about the price, just remember this before we get back into the charts. And yes, we're dealing with the death cross in the 4-hourly that we have not been able to invalidate yet. 51 people here. Wow, really? I appreciate that. 51 people here, 32 likes. Make sure that like button is that will push the content, help push me through the analytics, and I greatly appreciate you tuning in. But real quickly, as we get settled in here, what crypto YouTubers do I watch? Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing. No, I watch Peter Schiff on YouTube. I watch Mike Maloney on YouTube. I watch Jordan Peterson. I watch Ben Mala. Who else? Robert Kiyosaki. A few others. But I only watch people on YouTube to try to learn. I don't watch anybody who's pushing a FUD narrative, and that's just, if I type in XRP, no offense if to all your favorite YouTubers, 99% of them are just talking, I don't want to say. But, there's nothing to learn there, unfortunately. So I go to places where I know I can learn. So it's not that there's nobody you can watch. Like, there's a lot of people that I really learn a lot on YouTube. Oh, yeah, Robert Kiyosaki's a good one. You just got to remember with Robert Kiyosaki, though, he speaks a lot from the entitled position now. He does a lot. The only thing I don't like about Robert Kiyosaki is there's so much promoting within the freaking update. It didn't used to be like that. It is what it is. But they all do that. They got to make some money. Nothing's for free, as they say, I suppose. But I want to read this very quickly. Reserve on CBDCs using XRP Ledger. And because we don't always need to look at the charts. We're going to get into the charts more tonight, but when you're looking at optimism, that doesn't mean you have to look at just the number on the charts. You're trying to look at the adoption. Some people would tell you or lead you to believe that the adoption's not happening, while them telling you one thing and actually seeing it, and that's even in my experience, I can show it over and over and over, but somebody will say, well, this person on YouTube said, or the news said, and it's like, well, I'm sorry they said, but I'm actually showing you, what's actually happened. So just pay attention to this. The big thing we were talking about in 2021 when I started on YouTube was the central bank fees, the fact that they would overtake SWIFT in one way or another. And now, as we found out, it wasn't that they were going to overtake them. We thought it could go in that direction, but we have to be realistic. They're not overtaking. They partnered with SWIFT. That out not too long ago. So that was a little bit of a curveball that we got thrown, which is good. It means that SWIFT needs the liquidity from the on-demand liquidity from Ripple. So that's a good thing. But this right now, and remember, everything that starts, and if you're from New Zealand, what do we always say? Well, I don't always say I'm not from New Zealand, but this is a common saying. When new things are going to be put in, the common testing ground is in New Zealand when it comes to worldwide things. Isn't it oftentimes they tested in New Zealand for some reason or another? And we can get probably some validity from somebody who might be watching from New Zealand, but that's the truth. So pay attention to this. And by the time we get to the end of this, I promise you, if you haven't heard this yet, it should give you a lot of optimism. So the Reserve Bank of New Zealand and Ripple are discussing the creation of central bank digital currency, CBDCs, using the XRP ledger. And XRP is a big part of this as well, as we'll get to in a little bit. The partnership leverages Ripple's blockchain enterprise and the success of XRP to advance the integration of digital currencies into the financial system. And this isn't what I'm talking about. We get into a much bigger piece a little bit farther down. The partnership could pave way for other institutions to integrate digital currencies securely, potentially reshaping the discourse of CBDC viability. The Reserve Bank of New Zealand and Ripple, a prominent player in the cryptocurrency industry, and discuss the potential creations of central bank digital currency CBDCs utilizing the XRP ledger. Bank's commitment to integrating digital innovation into the nation's financial framework. The collaboration with Ripple underscores this ambition, leveraging Ripple's blockchain expertise and the success of flagship cryptocurrency XRP. So a lot of people will lead you to believe that XRP is not going to be part of this with Ripple. Everything that I've seen and everything that I keep bringing you that's relevant when it is in connection with CBDCs, XRP is a main player in this whole thing. The XRP ledger is a main stake. Nick, by the way, XTC bounced off 0.5 fib daily FPG and 20 EMA daily. Just a coincidence. Just a coincidence indeed. Thank you for that information. Nick, thank you so much. Matt, welcome in. I appreciate you tuning in. J-Day's Tom keeping it real. I like to keep it real. Driver, because New Zealand's so expensive to live and the dollar is so cheap, they need to try everything to catch up. That, I didn't look at it that way. That is a fair point, Driver. I always wondered why they always tested. That's a fair point. It's actually a really fair point. So, by exploring collaboration with Ripple, a trailblazer in the blockchain sector, the Reserve Bank seeks to usher in a new era of financial innovation. Ripple's extensive experience in bridging conventional banking with the cryptocurrency market positions it well for meaningful participation in such initiatives. The XRP ledger presents a host of unique advantages for expanding CBDC technology, notably its remarkable speed, robust security, and impressive scalability make it a fitting platform for accommodating the rigorous specifications of a central bank's digital currency. This aligns with the Reserve Bank's goal of embracing cutting-edge technology while ensuring the security and stability of its financial systems. The partnership with Ripple augments this endeavor by bringing technical prowess and valuable business insights. Now we get to get into the nitty-gritty, and we get to talk about XRP getting closer to the bottom. It's fine. When you start to listen, actually, no, it gets towards the bottom. Shaping the future of digital finance. This collaborative alliance underscores the growing global prominence of XRP. Ripple's proactive engagement with banks and financial institutions worldwide positions the XRP ledger to play a pivotal role in shaping the trajectory of digital finance. Besides its technical capabilities, Ripple's unique ability to bridge the gap between conventional banking and the dynamic cryptocurrency landscape stands as a testament to its potential impact. Moreover, as widespread cryptocurrency adoption gains momentum, partnerships like Ripple and the Reserve Bank in New Zealand expect to play a central role in shaping the next chapter of digital banking. Stakeholders and observers within the financial and technological sphere will closely monitor the progression of this collaboration. The hopes are high that it will usher in transformative changes that resonate across the financial landscape. And this is where we get to talk a little bit about XRP. Well, maybe not even a lot about XRP, but at least the ledger. But the collaboration between the Reserve Bank of New Zealand and Ripple represents a pivotal moment. The adoption of XRP ledger technology for potential CBDC exemplifies not only the ambition of the central bank to stay ahead in digital finance, but also highlights Ripple's expertise as a leading blockchain entity. Consequently, this partnership could set a precedent for other financial institutions seeking innovative pathways to integrate digital currency securely and efficiently. It might reshape the discourse surrounding CBDC and its viability in a rapidly evolving financial ecosystem. While challenges and regulatory considerations remain, the alliance's potential positive outcomes are compelling, and its progress will undoubtedly be followed with keen interest. It's interesting that we're starting to do this now. You get a lot of people telling you in the USA that it's not part of the CBDC, Ripple, XRP, but everywhere you look, it's being integrated. So, snapshot for free Evernode, airdrop is 9.1, and I believe your XRP has to be on-chain, meaning Zoom, I think. Yeah, I've seen there's a few airdrops. Some people are afraid of the airdrops because that's a good way. Apparently, a lot of people are getting hacked through airdrops, but who knows? Who knows the truth? Yeah, having fun indeed. So the short-term pattern formation, as we can see, this is the immediate short term. We are in what I think is a broadening wedge, but we have the short-term pattern that we almost fell outside of, but we came back within. But we're probably just trying to fill this out. We still have this death cross in the 4-hourly that we haven't been able to do anything. So if we're looking to try to avoid breaking down, we've got to, like we were talking about earlier, get above the 641. This is a short-term pattern formation, just so you can see the short-term setup to how we could get down farther if we were to break down. We have had zero buying pressure here, none. So, I mean, could we say we're coming into a falling wedge maybe? I mean, I like to think we're in a broadening wedge right here because of the volatility, and it just seems to me, if we can't get any buying pressure, it just seems to me we're about to push down. Unless we can get some buying pressure here. We need to reverse this somehow, some way. But we continue to be beaten down by the 20-day in all time frames. So that's a big problem to me. So obviously, I don't mind taking questions. We do have a W reversal right now until we break down, but just this looks like a bear flag here. And if we do break down, it's gonna be a problem. Caught you live. We said the hell with it and went to said the hell with it. I went to Branson Mall for the weekend. Hey, very nice, Hamza. Very nice. Thanks, Tom. Might have to move my XRP over for a bit. Yeah, absolutely. That's good news that we're getting shared here in the comments. I appreciate that. The weekend, or the bottom of the weekly FMG, or FVG, is about 493, and the bottom of the daily that's stacked is 48. Ah, man, if we get down there, that would be a big problem. Because if you break back down into the 48 cents, I mean, you break back into this formation firmly, and you're talking about the bottom here, where you're talking about, you're back firmly into this ascending formation. And if you break that, that would bring you down to the roughly the 2020 uptrend, around 37 cents. We'd have to go into the other chart, but I mean, that would firmly bring you in there. So we'll see. If we think we're going to drop into there, we're still, this is the thing. We have all these short-term formations down, but if we look at it from a macro perspective, XRP never broke out. XRP got rejected. So if we're going to say we're back firmly in here, and the other formation in the short term is just going to break down, that would bring XRP down where you're talking about. And then if you break the 47 cents or 48 cents as we've seen in the other chart, you firmly come back here at 37.6. So, I mean, if we want to start talking like that, I mean, we could, but I don't know if a lot of people are ready to be talking about those lower numbers, particularly right now. Everybody who's tuning in right now, I do appreciate it. I know it's late, and I know when XRP is more bearish, you know, it's not exactly the sexiest talk right now, but I just think it's better to be informed. I think it's better to know what's happening. You know, some days it's better than others, but I think every day is a good day if you understand what's about to happen next. So I do appreciate everybody who takes the time to watch this, who might stick around a little bit and chat. And then just let me know what you think. 1:50 p.m. Sunday here in Queensland. Wow. You're already mid-afternoon. You're mid-afternoon, Miss Vicky. How nice is that? It's so weird. Isn't it so weird how it works? You're after 1 p.m. I'm here at 10:48 p.m. Just, what am I? That makes me 9 hours ahead of you right now. JW 2-1 is set. Yes, it is. Jan, I appreciate your dedication, keeping us informed. You're welcome. Well, I appreciate everybody who tunes in. Otherwise, I'd just be talking to myself. But I like doing it. Like, for me, I like keeping everybody informed. And I like coming on live. And I know coming on live late, especially when we're in a bearish cycle, it's easier for me to talk to all of you. Earlier, there was like 150 people in here at what? 2 o'clock maybe? And it makes it difficult to focus. Not on what I'm doing, but focus on talking to the chat. So this is just slow. We know what's happening here, so we have a chance to talk. So XRP right now, 4 hourly, that dot cross, that's what we're trying to finish off here. And if we do break down from here, we have a measured move down. And it could either come to 597 and still try to hold this formation if it even came down here maybe. But it really looks like it wants to come down and at least tap the 613. I'd be surprised if we don't get a volume push here shortly, if it can hold on for much longer. I really would. We're running out of time. You keep it real time. People not looking for opium know what you provide. Absolutely. I agree with that, Nick. I agree with that. As they say, the truth takes just a little longer to circulate. But over time, I believe people who really want to learn, they'll find their way. They'll find their way. So sorry, it is 12:48 time. Oh, no problem. No problem. So I am, that's 10 hours ahead of you. Wow. So crazy. Everybody's just stacked in different times. Just different times. So if we're looking at this in the short term, that's why I have this formation up. But do we really want to keep it up? I think we should, just so that we can see. But if we break up your major resistance 641, but this is running out of room here. This is just showing you we don't have a lot of buying pressure. We haven't had a lot of selling pressure either right here. We do have this W reversal here. Came up, got a beautiful rejection. And right now, this is at the neckline of that W reversal. If it holds here, we're fine. It'd be a great consolidation. But we've got to map out if it breaks down the most likely spot. Well, obviously the 613, but the most likely spot would be touching somewhere in this area. And then likely coming down to consolidate. If we don't break down, and this actually holds, you should come up here and then you'll have a date with this. But then if that breaks and you can get above the 200-day resistance, see, that's where you have to get above. That's the biggest problem right now, is we need to get above the 645 right now and get on top of that and invalidate or try to invalidate this dot cross. We need to come up here and break this and get on top of it to formally invalidate this move. Otherwise, on a thinly traded weekend, we all know what the potential is here. Driver, the back door, and there's an extra. Oh, okay. Talking to Miss Vicky. Sam, thank you for your info, Tom. Crap. Let me pull my, oh, there we go. Thank you for somebody responding. Tom, your TA is always priceless, head and shoulders above the rest. I appreciate that. Thank you. And Nick, thanks for validating that. I appreciate that. Greatly, actually. KB, Tom, new subscribers. I'm thinking like myself. Y equal 3 bags on the X's. Y equal 3 bags on the X's? What do you mean? Oh, why 3 new subscribers asking a question. So, for me, I believe XRP, XLM, XDC, I have all 3 the same amount of tokens. Not the same amount of money put in, but the same amount of token value. I just believe they offer 3 different unique perspectives. XRP with the institutions and big business, XLM with the retail investors, and then I think, and they all offer the institutional and small business and the retail, but I think XLM's targeted at retail. I think XRP's targeted at big business, banks and things like that, financial institutions, and I think XDC's targeted at small business and retail. But they can all do the same, but mainly small business for the fintech. So I think they all need, I think you need to have equal weight in all 3. Not saying the same dollar amount, but I'm saying if you have 10,000 tokens of XRP, it's in your best interest to own 10,000 XLM and XDC. That's just my personal opinion, and there's just so much tech behind it. I don't want to split hairs. Sometimes when water just tastes so darn good, I can't even explain it. Right now, my Icelandic water tastes so good. And this is Skyra. I like this one. Skyra or Icelandic water. They're both from Iceland, but this Skyra one is pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. You know what I do now? I take my water when I first get it, and I put it in the freezer, in the container. And I just let a little bit of ice form on it, and then I break it, and that becomes the ice in there. It tastes so good, and it's so much colder, and I like cold water. I know nobody cares, but that's just true. Wow, 61 people joining us here tonight on a Saturday night? Really? I could understand it during the week, but on a Saturday night when most of the youngsters are partying? Excellent. I just bought 1 billion XRP. That's fine for me. I'm not greedy. Excellent. Excellent. That'd be pretty interesting. X equals cross-border XDC trade. There you go. What exchange do you purchase XRP on? Well, I use Uphold where I keep most of my stuff on, but I'll use personally, depending on where you live, if you're in the USA, I would use FEMX to buy it and then send it to your favorite exchange because on Uphold, I trust them the most, but the spot fees are ridiculous. So you might, if XRP is at 40 cents, you might be paying a few percent higher. At least on FEMX, when I do it, I can buy it. And the spot maker fee is it's like 0.9%. Well, it's real cheap on the spot fees, but if I'm putting money on it, it's cheaper too. But the spot fees are lowest in the class right now for the USA. So I try to buy it there and then send it to Uphold. That's just me here. So if you're doing it in the USA, ultimately get it to Uphold. But just from me to you, I would buy it on FEMX and then I would send it over by XRP by the XRP ledger and send it over to Uphold. Just me personally. Otherwise, you're going to pay a lot in fees on Uphold. And there's certain things I buy on Uphold and I just pay the fee. But like for XRP, there's no point. I can just send it over very quickly. So that's something I've learned. So that's FEMX in the chat if you're interested. I don't have an affiliate link or anything, so that's just the registration link from FEMX. So if you're interested, just take a look there if you're in the USA. But I'm not an affiliate of anybody. I don't do paid advertisements, promotions, or sponsorships because I like to keep this show free flowing. So if you're interested, that's where you can go. And then obviously make sure you open Uphold. That's my most trusted. It's just I prefer you not to have to pay the big fee to buy on Uphold, you know, and save a little bit of money. No joke. And that's just what I've done along the way now. And then I stack it up on Uphold. So we're still waiting. In the short term, we can even turn this, we can put this down into like the 30-minute, but we really need to see if this formation breaks. It has come back up here. We haven't had any volume though. This is, the biggest problem is we're probably going to come up here real quick though. See if we can even reverse. We should come up here though to about 631. But this formation, we either need to break out of it and start pushing that 641 or we're going to start trending down. We almost fell out of it just now. It was a scary moment here. If you're trying to see if XRP is going to hang on here at any hope or if we're going to consolidate more. And when I say any hope, it means to not break down further. For the record, you want XRP to break down here. The more liquidity we get here, the better. 585 was where I targeted it for a reason. And I know everybody, 597 is close enough. It is, but that 585 was perfectly targeted for the weekly time frame. And I know it sounds stupid. Even 55 cents might be better, but that's the weekly time frame, the cup and handle, putting the bullish handle on the cup. That could get you a maximum liquidity bounce. And that's what we're looking for here. Me personally, that's what I'm looking for too. But 585, if we could hold it, would be an ultimate test of support. To not even come back down here and to hold this area, oh man. That would be the ultimate test of support. If we never have to come down here, fine. I'm okay with that. 597 is close enough. I'm okay with it. But this W reversal needs to play out now. You can't come below. You could come to 613, but that's still coming below a key area right here. You really don't want to come below that 616 level. Just, you don't want to come below that. If you're going to try to use this area 613, you can, but then you kind of invalidate the little bit of a neckline that's formed here. Even if you break where we already have, we basically came as far as you could to try to hold support on this W. But if we break down any farther, what's to stop us? Yes, we have the 613, but with all this we built up, this is a bear flag right now until it's not. We need to break above it and then push past the 641 to invalidate it. The weather for me right now, what is it right now here? It's pretty cool here tonight. It's raining out. It was raining outside. 73 degrees. Last night was warm. Tonight it's pretty cool, apparently. 73 degrees. I know some of you who just said it's 103 degrees probably, or 105 degrees in Texas. You probably envy what we have right now. We had a lot of rain today, at least the last couple hours. We had a bad storm yesterday. We had tornado sirens going off last night. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, it was a lot hotter during the day here. Very humid today. Very humid. We get this dry. Well, the one who just said New Jersey, you understand that humidity's crazy out this way. So what do we think? What do we think? I can talk forever. Infamous crazy weather indeed. It has been crazy weather. Tell us something good like $10 by the end of the month-ish, 23rd-ish. I wish I could say that. Something good. Something good. Ripple is being adopted for CBDC use in not just New Zealand. There's many different countries across that side of the world in the Asian markets that it's being secretly adopted here. Or quietly. Not even secretly, but very quietly, sneakily. It's almost like you don't even hear a pin drop in the USA markets. They don't even talk about it. Because most of the people are too busy talking about $10,000 XRP. But yeah, this is it's the shake out the holders, and this is where you get liquidity. It's all about the cycle. It doesn't just happen overnight. Look where XRP is at right now if you look at it. I mean, just look at this. Just playing this out from the whole time on this chart. We go in cycles. What does it look like right now? I mean, if you're looking at this just from the onset, you'd be like, uh-oh, we're forming some kind of rising channel here on the way up to the top of this cup. But, you know, we'll see. But if that's the case, you should still come up to 75 or 80 cent area and try to see what's going to happen. But, you know, that's just me. You know, I'm looking for liquidity to get out of this area. That's the bottom line. I am trying to find liquidity to get out of here. I don't want to go up with no liquidity and then just get rejected. I want liquidity out of here. Tom, I think our XRP is going to drop to where you say when you say it. My ultimate XRP prediction is a lot. That's a lot about all I can offer. Yep. I appreciate that, Miss Vicky. I appreciate that. Uphold. What did that say? Uphold limits cash out 1,500 per 24 hours. You like that, Tom? Do I like that? It's not 20. I can guarantee you it's not 1,500 every 24 hours because I've done much more than 1,500. FYI. When I was buying my house, I took out multiple purchases that was over 4,000 to 5,000 a day, and I did it multiple days in a row. You just have to be. You have to be VIP. That means you have to have actual history with Uphold. And then once they trust your in and outs, they up your limit. Uphold doesn't just give you unlimited flexibility, which is why I like Uphold. But I can tell you for a fact that I can do $10,000 a day. Every day, 7 days a week. I know other people that can do a lot more than 10,000. It's just based on how much you're putting in and out and how much they trust you. Uphold does things a little bit different. But, you know, that's the limits. If you got to deal with limits, you got to deal with it. But I can tell you, if you're dealing with that, listen, this is how simple that is. So, on Uphold, there's limits. If you're in the USA, go over to Kraken, open a Kraken account. The same day you open it, it'll get verified. And the next day, you can send money off, and you might have to send it through something else. You can't send it, well, I don't know if Kraken, I think they have XRP now. But send it over from Uphold if you're trying to cash out. Send it over there and sell it. Or do whatever you got to do. Send it over and Tether or whatever. And then you can just send it out. But I still trust Uphold. I can send it off of Uphold to other places is my point if I need to withdraw. That's why you stack it up. Kraken's my main withdrawal. Uphold, I used to just use the Uphold card. But we also send it to the bank as well, and it works flawlessly. Hey, Shifts, welcome in. KB's no problem, KB. But it does take us some time. When I first started on Uphold, there was a cooldown period that I had no idea was 90 days because I held XRP. I didn't even realize that I couldn't withdraw money because it was the stacking up phase, and then it took a couple months, and by the time I got done doing everything, it had already been enough time, but I didn't take money off for a while until the bear market proved itself was, we're going back into a bear market. But I like the questions and the comments. But there's not much we can really say here. Like, what else can I say? What else can I say here? XRP, while we're watching, is going to come up here. We're going to retest probably the 200-day and the 30-minute. And we're going to see. Because that's what XRP likes to do. Have everybody think you're going short after breaking the short-term formation. Come back into it. Get everybody excited. Just to probably come up here and just fill this pattern out. I know we're coming up here, though. I already know that's what XRP likes to do. We have to come. XRP likes to tempt fate here. So the shorts and longs technically will get, kind of take a beating here real quick. But this is like a falling wedge kind of forming. Not even a falling wedge, just like I guess it's the way you look at it. I guess you could even say, there's so many ways to look at this right now. How do you withdraw your XRP from Uphold? Well, you have to transfer it off of there through the ledger. I mean, it's gonna take. That's the hardest part to learn is how to start sending things off of exchange to exchange. It's not as hard as it sounds. Literally, it is not as hard as it sounds. If you do it, you just gotta find your address. Make sure you do your destination tag. But do a little bit of research into it. It is not as hard as it seems. Descent holds all 3 X's and easy to use. Excellent knowledge, MKP. Thank you very much for that. So do we think XRP is about to just go up very small here real quick and at least come into this area? Yes, always send a small amount first just to verify. Excellent advice, Infamous. Excellent advice. Let me see if I can keep up with these comments. Hey, let's see. Which one did I miss? Hamza sounds like my life. Oh, you guys are all just talking. You guys are just talking. So, that's basically it. Hey, I like to answer questions, so... Like I said, I like nights like tonight when there's 50 people in here. I think that's what was in here. Maybe there's a lot less. I don't know. Maybe everybody left already. But I like it when we're able to have an active discussion. Right now, there's not much we can do. We're stuck in this formation. And if we break this, we're coming back into this range. I think we'll come down here. But there is the chance we could break out here and get a little bit of volume. We're just not seeing it. It's a thinly traded weekend. But the overriding factor right now is the fact we're very unstable. We're very unstable. Even when we make a little bit of move up here, it's an unstable move. No, driver, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So I say as much as I love having 150, 200 people in here, having 50 people in here, it's such a nice flow. Yes, party people in DJW, I love hearing that. It's a nice flow tonight. It's a very nice group. Partially why I decided to come on when I did. But the other reason was it was a good time to come on with my son just falling asleep, Julie laying down. Will Uphold offer APY ever? You don't necessarily want them to. You want them to keep it straight like they are right now. Remember, Uphold is not like most exchanges. Uphold offers delivery of gold and precious metals. They're more like a brokerage, so they don't live by the same rules. They don't live and die just by crypto. That's why they're willing to take the leap. Will there ever be any more silver stack? Yes, there will be silver stacking episodes. I can assure you of that. I can assure you of that. I actually have been thinking a lot about the next silver stacking episode. The problem is, the silver fell out of favor for a minute because the gold silver ratio was under 80 for a little bit. Now it's back up to what is it at? 83, I believe it's at. 84.3 now. So yeah, that's gonna come into focus now. But unfortunately, when it had that push up, I didn't want to promote anybody to buy it because I knew it was coming right back down. So I didn't buy any silver when it went in here. Like I told everybody, I haven't bought any silver since I was doing the silver stacking episodes. And that was back somewhere in here. But I didn't want to buy it in this because it wasn't ready. And I still believe it might have even been a farther formation. It's been a few months. But yeah, it's been a few months. It might have been back in this formation. It's been a little bit of time since I bought silver now. Probably the longest stretch I've had in a few years. But because I believe this is coming back down, I thought this was all one big fake out on the way up with precious metals. So now we're getting into positions like we were able to get in if anybody's paying attention, since we're in a time when most people are not in here to bother us. You know, to where it's a crazy amount of chat. Anybody who's been following me, you know B2 Gold was one I wanted to get back into very nicely. And we were able to under $3. 290 something. And it was a quick drop, pull up, and I even talked about it during the live as it was happening. Fortuna Silver Mine, same thing. And these very well are going to come back down farther. But now I've at least got a spot to target where I can buy 20% every time it goes down 20%. That's all I care about. 20% down now. When would you consider price targets? When would you consider price targets for gold and silver? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean. When would I consider price targets? Or what would I consider price targets? Or like price targets to buy? I don't know what you mean. Infamous. Can you expand on that, please? We're going to see, too, how the DXY opens up tomorrow. Oh, when buying? Oh, right now. I mean, if you don't own silver, I always look at silver, the gold-silver ratio over the price of silver. The gold-silver ratio right now is at 84.3 to 1, and it's breaking out right now. So anytime it's over 80 to 1, but the higher over 80 to 1, it's a freaking phenomenal deal with silver. Because then you trade it back for gold when it gets to 40 to 1 on the ratio. That's my strategy. So if you don't own silver, it's always a good time, as silver is the most undervalued commodity of them all, in my opinion. But I mean, now is not a bad time. But you're doing it over time. This isn't a short game. This is a long-term game. It's good. It's good. I know what you meant, that you don't own it, Infamous. Those are good ones to own, especially silver right now. Silver is such a good, it's a steal. Even if it goes down, silver, you're trying to transfer your wealth from, the actual currency into money. The only way to do that is to transfer from your paper dollar into precious metals. You can even, to an extent, put some into crypto, but if you're trying to store your value into real money, crypto is a money. It's just, to me, different. It's cross borders. It's very volatile, but it is going to exponentially transfer your wealth a little bit farther probably than gold and silver when it comes to a 10-year over and over gain. But there's also the possibility that you could have a 95% drop in crypto. That's not happening in gold and silver. And if it does, it would get eaten up so quickly that you probably wouldn't even have a chance to buy the dip down. I mean, God, it's so hard to talk about anything tonight. You know why? Because XRP is just stuck. It's stuck. There's not much more to say. It's been 44 minutes, 70 likes, 57 people in here right now. But what more can we say? XRP continues to get rejected on the 4-hour time frame. It doesn't really matter which one of my charts I use. Every single one of them is showing a bearish bias right now. In this formation, we can't even get out of it. It's just we are trapped right now. And unfortunately, if this continues on a thinly traded weekend, it's a lot easier to just click that sell a little bit here as people's emotions are intact and just drop it a little bit. That W reversal, though, I guarantee got some people to go long in leverage trading. What controls the price? The computers. But if you want this price to go way up, institutional investors, unfortunately, with this part of the lawsuit right now, the only part that's actually still up for grabs is the institutional investors. The only thing that we don't want to hear. We were almost better off them saying retail sales were, still being levied against, but institutions were fine. Then all the ones who understood what was going on wouldn't have been afraid as retail investors like we already aren't, but institutions would have got the green light. That's what I personally was hoping would happen. Of course, I got kicked in the face. They kicked my teeth in. And they said retail and programmable sales were fine, but institution wasn't. That's why when everybody got all excited, I was not that excited. I knew we were going to pump a little bit, but I was not as excited. I want to hear institutions are fine. That's all I want to hear. That's it. So I would have been okay with them saying, retail is still a security, but institutions, you know what? It's fine. And I would have said, you know what? Fuck. KB's hack time, most of here to interact with you and each other with your knowledge. I agree with that. KB. JW, very sharp. I think we're all sharp in here, JW. I think you agree. It's a very sharp community. Jason, how long do you feel on silver ratio? How do you feel on silver ratio? What do you mean, the 84-1? How long do you feel? I don't know what you mean, Jason. I'm sorry if I'm misinterpreting what you're saying. Could you please elaborate? I will be more than happy to try to answer your question. Mr. Extra Sour Cream Taco Supreme King. I love that name. It really is. What just happened here? Infamous. Yeah, I'm long gaming. And I own some. I was looking to buy targets. Oh, okay, I gotcha. Gotcha. Miss Vicky says we aren't allowed now to buy gold and silver with cash. Can you believe that? I can believe it. So I tell everybody in the States it's coming eventually. It's coming eventually here. They're going to do the same thing. And you know what the biggest thing? Here's the troubling thing. Every single person you buy from, or every single person pushing commodities or precious metals, I should say, even Robert Kiyosaki, what do they always tell you? Not to keep it on you. Keep it stored in a vault. I have a slightly different way of looking at it. I don't necessarily say keep it on you, but I say you better know a good spot to bury, and you better know a few of them, and you have to learn things. So you figure it out where you live, where nobody knows, and you start burying in certain areas where you know, but you can't just leave it all in the house. That's going to get you in trouble. Yes, you have arms, but you never know. So you find good burying spots, but to leave it with a vault, vault it with somebody, I don't know, a company that you're going to let them store your gold and silver. I mean, that always rubs me the wrong way. What's going to happen? What's going to happen if a time comes up and you need it? Well, how the hell are they going to ship you your gold and silver? That's my question. That's like telling me to tell you to hold on to my ledger until I need it. Would you ever fucking do that? No, I'm telling you to bury it. I didn't say hold it in your house. That's you make yourself an easy target. But you certainly can't hold it in a vault. I mean, is my comparison unfair? To say that it would be essentially the same as giving up if you had a ledger or a wallet to give up your keys and let somebody hold it until you needed it. I mean, I don't understand. In here late, what did I miss, Cruz? Nothing much. What was the other exchanges you mentioned in your last video? I need one besides Uphold. Stephanie, here. I'll share it. FAMX, if you're in the USA, you don't need to do a KYC, no VPN. Very easy to use. That's the one that I would send over funds from somewhere else, buy whatever you need, and then send it right over to wherever you need to go. That'll help you save spot fees. I'm not here to put anything up against anything, Nick. I'm just telling you what I do. I don't speculate. I just look at what's going on. No problem, Stephanie. You are welcome. I'm glad you're in here. But Nick, give Uphold its due time, its due respect. You're treating Uphold like an exchange by making that comment. They're much more than an exchange. I want to give a little homework to anybody. To anybody. Go look at Uphold and go look at the difference between Uphold and a Coinbase or Uphold and just a normal exchange. Look at what they offer in comparison. What is this? Sam, thank you so much for the $9.99. Holy smokes. I honestly was not expecting a donation while I was on tonight. That literally blows me away. Thank you so much, Sam. Really, thank you for paying it forward. Nicholas, thank you for the info always. Appreciate it. No problem, Nicholas. I like giving out the info. I'm about to log off here, as you might know. It's just getting late and I'm getting tired. But I wanted to bring this information. Just pay attention here. Just pay attention here with XRP. If we're going to fall off, we're going to fall out of this formation and then we're going to carry down. We're going to continue to get rejected here. But in the 30-minute time frame, we can see we probably, if we have any chance here, we should come up here. And still, even if we're going to get rejected, it looks like we could have enough steam to come to 634 again or 631. Maybe up a little bit higher. But if we lose this short-term formation, we know the 4-hour time frame is going to play out with that death cross. Weekly, we're still looking great. Weekly looks fine. It's just the short term here is tricky. We need a pull-up if we're going to pull up here. Otherwise, we know we're coming down for more liquidity. So just don't let your emotion control you. Keep that straight, narrow, laser focus. Don't let the emotion dictate what's going to come next. An H-bar real quick since somebody nicely asked. And then I'm out. I thank everybody for tuning in. The 37 of you stuck it out. I greatly appreciate it. H-bar right now is flipping a little bearish. We came under that 575, and if we get rejected here, we're trying to form a reversal here, but if we don't reverse, we're going to come down here. We're going to need to come get more support at 497. And then if it were to lose that, we could possibly come a little bit lower. But right now, it's firmly on that 575 level. 575 level firm. I appreciate that, Dean. Thank you so much. Mr. Extra Sour Cream Taco Supreme. No problem. I look forward to tomorrow's update as well, actually. Thank you so much. Nick, no problem. No. I didn't think you were disrespecting. I thought you were being fair. There's a lot of things that I don't like about it, too. But, we have to respect it just for the fact that it stuck around for us. Have a good night, Matt. Have a good night, Miss Vicky. Thank you all so much. Driver, JW, everybody, thank you so much. I was a little late, Tom, but I bought Casper about 13 hours ago, another $50 worth to start buying worth. Keen to buying the rest. Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us on FOMO Fridays. It doesn't matter if you're a little late. The point is that you're there with us. Stay blessed, everybody, and I thank everybody who tuned in on a Saturday night. Time for me to, maybe get a little rest here until my son wakes me up at 2 a.m. Appreciate everybody. Thank you all very much. Have a blessed night. And like Miss Vicky says, sunny days indeed. I read somewhere that you pay taxes of 15%. Must hold XRP over a year, 35% if you... Yep. MKP, that's 100% true. That's why we have the philosophy with XRP right now in the accumulation. If you hold it less than a year, it's 35%. If you hold it over a year in the USA, it's only 15%. So essentially, if you understand the accumulation phase and you understand where we're going outside of the bear market once we get out of it, you can save yourself 20%. So, I don't know about you, but I like to save 20%. So, stay blessed, everybody. Wow, 40% in Austria. They're just killing us. They're killing us. No problem, Dean. And JW, yes, little big man, and I'm sure he'll get me very, very shortly. Stay blessed, everybody, and I'll see you